Hello and welcome everyone. It is time for Jim Comics Down the Road video. I've been meaning to do this one for a while, and I'm going to cover off comics that are coming out in March. Some books I'm looking at I think are going to be good ones, so we'll get into that in just a second. I want to make sure I thank all my subscribers. Really appreciate you watching my videos and taking the time to send me comments. And I haven't done a comic shop shout out for quite a while. So I'm going to do one today. One of my subscribers on Instagram asked if I give a shout out to Gotham City Comics and Collectibles. They are in Mesa, Arizona. It looks like a really nice shop. Apparently it's a smaller shop, but hey, you know what? It's those small. I like the smaller shops. They're, I don't know, you get a real personable service when you go in there, and pretty cool people. I mean, most shops are pretty cool, but that looks like a nice one. And they got a really awesome mural on the back of the building. It's a whole big Doctor Who mural on the back of the building. It looks really cool. So I definitely want to check that out if I ever get down there. Arizona's not too far for me, so I could probably make that in a, I don't know, I could make that in a day's drive, I guess. But anyways, that looks like a cool shop. So their address and phone number is down in the comments as usual. Give them a shout if you're in the area. Set up a pull list. Yeah, help them out and get your collection going. So there you go. Gotham City Comics and Collectibles. That is my shout out. So this video is going to be based on comics coming in March, like I said. I've gone through the Marvel previews for March. If you haven't looked through these, it's a good idea to pick them up when they come out. Usually they come out about the beginning of the month. And this one has Kraven the Hunter on the front for Marvel. DC has Batman and the Joker for Detective Comics 1000. And then the previews catalog has Dial H for Hero on the front. So that is what it's based on. I've looked up the stuff I'm interested in. I've looked it up on Previews World, and I'm going to give you the information you need to talk to your shop about what you want. I'm not going to talk about cover Bs and variants in this video. It'll just be about the comic and what I think is going to be a good comic. Just because most of the images haven't been released yet for cover Bs, so I can't even tell you what they're going to look like or what's going to be a good one. That I will talk about in my usual top picks videos and stuff, or my regular haul videos. If I talk about stuff coming down the road, as soon as I know about a good cover, I'll let you know. But just because I haven't released it yet, I can't let you know at this point. So I'm going to start with Marvel first. A couple of these will be stuff that's coming out. One is next week, January 30th, and I'll put that on the screen right now just because it's Doctor Strange number 10. It's the 400th issue. It's a milestone issue. And someone's been working kind of in the background, kind of tormenting Doctor Strange. And apparently they can turn off magic with the snap of their fingers. So we'll have to see who that is. If it's a new character or not, I don't know. But it looks cool. And while I got this image on the screen, I just wanted to show you. I've talked about this in the past, but in case you haven't watched my videos, there's an orange code right above the artist and the writer's name. That's the code for the comic that you want to give your shop, and that code they can use to order the comic I'm talking about. And then down below in blue, you'll notice there's it tells you the date the comic is released. So you're going to want to try and order these. Usually the final order cutoff is about 3 weeks before the comic releases, but I give myself a minimum of a month if I can, because that way you're pretty much guaranteed. If you want a comic, as long as the shop orders it before the final order cutoff, they'll get it. So that the problem is, once they put their orders in and they say they only order 10 books because they don't think anybody's going to buy it, and 100 people want it, obviously there's 90 that aren't going to get it. So get your order in before the final order cutoff, because if you order it and it's on your pull list, you're going to get it and everybody else is not. That's the way it works. So anyways, yeah, Doctor Strange, that looks like a good one. Next one from Marvel. This one comes out February 13th. It's Savage Sword of Conan number 1. I've really enjoyed the Conan the Barbarian series. It's been launched. It's been really good, and it's sold out everywhere. It's been selling really well. The story is good by Alex Ross. The art is really good by Ribic. His art is just awesome. Covers are good, and Alex Ross is doing the cover for cover A on this one. It looks really nice, so definitely grabbing that. Looking forward to that one. That's out February 13th. The next one out February 13th is Avengers No Road Home number 1. I've talked about this a few times, but I'm going to mention it again. It is a weekly event. Guaranteed there's going to be some stuff happening in this that will affect comics going forward. That's what happened in No Surrender that came out last year. That brought you Immortal Hulk. That was the big thing in there, and some other first appearances and stuff. But in here, there will be something that affects comics going forward, so I highly suggest you get it. The nice thing with these is because they come out every week, you stay up on the story the whole time. I really enjoy them. I think they're really good. And this one's going to have Nyx, the Queen of the Night, is going to be the big villain in this, or one of the villains anyways. And I mentioned her first appearance was in Doctor Strange number 31. And then her first full appearance was in 32, so those are good books to get if you can get them, just because she is going to be having a prominent role going forward. And her kids are showing up in the storyline, and they're going to be fighting the Avengers and everything else, so get that series. There will be hidden variants in that series as well. They're probably going to drop one somewhere in there, more likely in the middle of the run, so pay attention to that. That comes out February 13th. So next one is HULKVERINES. It's a 3-issue miniseries that starts on February 20th. The first issue is February 20th, and the second issue is March 27th. The order info is on the screen. That looks good. You got Weapon H going up against Wolverine and the Hulk. So see what happens with that. I don't know. Next one out, Immortal Hulk number 13. I've been recommending this series all the way through. It is really good. February 6th is issue number 13. It's got a really nice... Alex Ross is doing all the covers for the cover A's, and man, are they gorgeous. They are so good. And the funny thing with this one is, in issue 12, and in the issue coming out just in a few days, is the one below is all is revealed. And I'm still trying to figure out who it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be the Hulk himself. I don't know if it's going to be another character. I don't know, because in issue 13 it says the one below all is in control, and Bruce Banner belongs to him. So, and it shows what looks to be Bruce Banner in that green energy beam, and then the Hulk standing beside him. So I don't know if that means the Hulk is the one below all, or maybe Bruce Banner's the one below all. I don't know. Anyways, who knows? But it's really good. Boy, I love that series. And then issue number 14 comes out on March the 6th. That is a really nice cover with the nuke going off right into the Hulk's face. And then on the 15th, or issue number 15th comes out March 20th. And there's, it looks like there's 2 Alex Ross covers for this one. I'm not 100% sure, because the cover A shows the Hulk laying on a bench, being psychoanalyzed. And then cover B says it's an Alex Ross cover, but it's a Marvel's 25th anniversary. It looks like he's, jumping out of a plane flying down towards the Earth. So, I mean, that's a really cool looking cover. But either way, that is a great series, and it's one of my favorites at the moment. So that's those coming out. March 6th, Domino HOTSHOTS number 1 comes out. It's a 5-issue miniseries. It's going to be the first team appearance of that new team, and that team is going to have Domino, Outlaw, Diamondback, Black Widow, White Fox, and Atlas Bear. And Atlas Bear showed up in Domino number 9, if my memory serves me right. That was their first full appearance and origin in that one, so that's a good one to get. That's out March 6th. Another one out March 6th is, again, we're back to Avengers No Road Home. And I talked about these 2 issues before. Issue number 4 looks like it's going to have the origin of Nyx is going to be in that one. So that's going to be a really good one. And then March 13th is going to be the Hulk battles Hypnos, who's the son of Nyx, in the realm of sleep. So those ones look really good. I can't wait for that series. That's March 13th. March 20th is going to be another Avengers No Road Home, and that's when Conan looks like he joins the Avengers. So that whole run will be really good. I gotta pause this. My dog is going crazy. Hang on one sec. Alright, had to go shut the dogs up there. So next one for Marvel, March 6th is Star Wars Vader Visions number 1. Now, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but I do pick up the odd book here and there. And one of the big reasons I'm looking at this one, it's a 5-part miniseries. It's going to talk about Vader in kind of a different light. But cover 1 is a total homage to a Frank Frazetta Death Dealer painting he did back in the day, and I put that on the screen just so you can check it out. It's kind of funny how they do the homages and stuff. But so yeah, March 6th is issue 1, and then issue 2 comes out on March 27th. That looks interesting. Going to take a look at that. Cosmic Ghost Rider Destroys the Marvel History #1. 6-issue miniseries, comes out March the 6th. It looks like the Cosmic Ghost Rider is stuck in the past and he changes or adds to the origins of the Marvel characters, so be interested to see what they come up with that. So a lot of the origin stories may be changing that we know of, so that'll be a good one to get. March 13th, The Age of Conan BELIT comes out. It's a #1 of a 5-part miniseries. The She-Devil of the Sea, who would be queen. So it's going to be the origin of BELIT, so that'll be good, because anytime you get the origin of a character, it's a pretty good one to get. And she's been a pretty good foe of his over the years, so that'll be a good one. March 13th, again, will be X-23 #10. Looks like the mystery behind the X-Assassin who showed up in #7 is going to be revealed, so that'll definitely be a good one. I'm going to definitely pick that one up. Couple amazing Spider-Mans that are coming out. I showed Kraven the Hunter. He's on the front of the preview catalog. And they're starting another Kraven the Hunter mini little story arc. So anytime, they're usually pretty good stories. And #17 is the first part of that that story arc. So that's the Hunted Part 1. That comes out March 13th. That looks really... I mean, Spider-Man's on my pull list, but I'm definitely going to grab that one. And then #18 comes out 2 weeks later on March 27th. And that's the Hunted Part 2, obviously. And it's the interesting thing is it says, Kraven isn't the hunter who has Spidey in his crosshairs. And if you look at the image on the screen, it looks like something is flying down from the sky towards Spider-Man. And everybody's freaked out, running away. So, is it possible the Red Goblin's making a return in this story arc? That would be really cool if it was, because I've been saying for a while the Red Goblin. I mean, I don't know, it could be anybody, but it wouldn't surprise me if it is the Red Goblin, because he's been gone. They threw him into the Marvel universe in Spider-Man leading up to 800, and then he's been quiet for. You haven't heard a hair or nothing of him for the longest time, and it wouldn't surprise me if he pops back up again. So. Definitely grab those issues of Spider-Man. They look good. Avengers 17, March 20th. It looks like there's going to be a new Vampire Order and a new Lord of the Damned will be kind of brought to light in that issue. That whole Vampire run looks good. Obviously, Blade's going to be part of the Avengers, and really looking forward to that. You got the what's his name? Shadow Colonel showing up. That's going to be a good run. That starts with 14, or with I want to say the next issue, which is I can't remember what issue it is, but anyways, it's if you haven't been buying Avengers, I suggest you get Avengers, because it looks like it's going to be good going forward. And that's separate from the weekly series. So there's the regular Avengers, and then there will be your No Road Home weekly event. Will be separate from that, just so you're aware. Thor #11 comes out March 20th. That looks really good. And this is the start of that War of the Realms. It's a prelude to the War of the Realms, and the invasion starts in that issue. So that'll be a good one to get if you're into that War of the Realms, which I am. That'll be kind of the start of it, so that'll be really good. Marvel's Spider-Man City at War #1. That comes out March 20th. It's a brand new Marvel Universe is how they're kind of promoting it. So... it's got the PS4 Spider-Man in his own title, so that'll be his first book with his own title. And it's a Clayton Crane cover for cover A, so that looks really nice. I'm definitely going to try and pick that one up. And this next one, comes out March 20th. It's the Incredible Hulk 181 Facsimile Edition. It's very similar to, I don't know if a lot of you probably picked up the Fantastic Four facsimile. I'm just going to try and find one here, but I'm not sure what I did with it. I don't think oh yeah, there it is. So if you grabbed one of these Fantastic Four facsimiles, they're really nice. It's a heavy cardstock cover. It's basically a true reprint of the original, including the ads and everything, and then they add some extra stuff at the back. So the Incredible Hulk 181, that's obviously a major grail for a lot of people. I've got the first, I've got one of the original ones, but if you don't have the original one, that is the next best thing. I'm grabbing a couple anyways. I know that a lot of these true believers come out, but I don't know, they're just, they're kind of a flimsy little crappy reprint, where the facsimile editions is a really nice reprint on heavy cardstock with all the ads and everything, so that is definitely one to get. That comes out March 20th. I highly suggest you get that one pre-order, because that will sell out. That'll go fast, so get those on your pull list if you want them. Guardians of the Galaxy number 3 comes out March 20th, and it looks like the Dark Guardians are, I don't know if they're revealed in this issue, or they form a group in that issue, or maybe even prior to that, but they're led by Cosmic Ghost Rider. So that's kind of cool that he's, there's going to be, it looks like there's going to be a couple Guardian teams in this Guardians of the Galaxy. So anyways, that looks good. I'm definitely grabbing that series. That number 1 launches this Wednesday coming out. And it's funny, my shop says that not a lot of people are asking for that. I don't know why. Kate's is right. And there's going to be some big stuff. And usually the 3rd issue, just like in Venom, the 3rd issue was the big one with the reveal of Null and everything. I highly suggest, that's why I've got this 3rd issue of Guardians of the Galaxy on here. Usually the 3rd issue for him is a big one. So more than likely there's going to be some key stuff popping up in there. So definitely get that one on your list. So that's it for Marvel. For DC, Batman Who Laughs, Grim Knight number 1. I mentioned this a few times. March 13th it comes out. It's a one-shot. It's going to have the origin of the Grim Knight is going to be revealed in there. Looks a gorgeous jock cover on it that looks so good. I'm really enjoying this Batman Who Laughs miniseries right now. And the second cover, I don't have an image, like I say, because I haven't released it, but the second cover is a Dell'Otto cover. So I've already talked to my shop, and I've told them, look, I have no idea what it looks like, but I'm getting one anyway. So it's, because you can be pretty sure that Dell'Otto is going to do a nice cover for that. Aquaman 46 comes out March 20th, and again, that's continuation of that storyline with Nama, the Dragon God. And Aquaman is trapped on Nama's island, so definitely get that. Issue coming out this Wednesday will be her first full appearance, so issue 44, so get that one on your pull list too. Detective Comics 1000, before we get into that, Batman Damned number 3, that comes out March 27th. That's the conclusion to that 3-part miniseries under the Black Label, DC Black Label. It's been pretty good. I don't think issue 3, unless it has something crazy happen in it, will do anything close to issue number 1, but it's still been a very good series, and I'm looking forward to reading that one. So that's March 27th. As I was saying, Detective Comics 1000, that drops on March 27th. So I'm going to run through all the covers for you, just so you know which ones are coming. The cover A, that's on the screen right now. That's a nice cover. It's kind of a wraparound cover. These are prestige format, by the way, much like Action Comics 1000. They're going to be a $9.99 cover price. So they are going to be pricey, but they're going to be a nice square-bound book with a nice cardstock and everything. So I am not getting all these covers. I'm not buying them all, but I'll run through them all, and I'll show the ones I'm looking at. So there's 1930 is a Steve Rude cover. Not my favorite, but some people like that. 1940 is a Bruce Timm cover. 1950 is a Michael Cho cover. 1960 is a Jim Steranko cover. 1970 is a Bernie Wrightson cover, which I really like. I'm going to get that one. I'm getting cover A. Going to get the 1970 Bernie Wrightson cover. I love that one. 1980 Frank Miller. Definitely getting that one. That's a gorgeous cover. Love Frank Miller's work. 1990 is a Tim Sale cover. 2000 is a Jock cover. And then 2010 is a Greg Capullo cover. And I think that's, out of all of them, that's probably one of the nicest ones is Greg Capullo. So I'm getting cover A, 1970 Bernie Wrightson cover, 1980 Frank Miller cover, and the 2010 Greg Capullo cover. Those are the 4 I'm getting. But like I say, they're $9.99 cover price, so I'm not dropping $120 or whatever to buy them all. So anyways, next one, March 27th, is Dial H for Hero number 1. That's a 6-part miniseries, and that's part of that Wonder Comics lineup. I'm definitely going to grab that one. And last one from DC is Doomsday Clock number 10. That comes out March 27th as well. And this issue is going to have secrets behind Dr. Manhattan and his connection to the DCU, so that'll probably be a pretty important one. As far as indies go, I'm going to start with Aftershock. Got one from them. Comes out March 20th. It's called Dark Red #1. It looks like a pretty cool vampire tale, but set kind of in modern times and everything. So that'll be, looks like a pretty wicked little cover. And Aftershock's been putting out some good stuff, so I'm definitely grabbing that. From Albatross Funny Books, the GOON #1. That comes out March 13th. Eric Powell and the GOON. I'm still trying to track down a first print of the GOON #1 from the 90s, but it's the 20th anniversary of the GOON. So I do have 2 cover images for this one. So cover A is a $3.99 cover price, and then cover B is a $5.99 cover price. And if it's like Mega Ghost when it came out, the cover A will be on your regular comic cover paper, and then cover B will be a heavier cardstock glossy cover. So you're going to pay a little bit more, but it's a really nice book. I'm going to try and get one of each for that. From Alterna, March 27th, Blood Realm #1. A second volume is coming out. It's called The Shadowed Kingdom. I've got #1 of the first volume in here. It was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. And I've actually been in contact with the artist Robert Geronimo, and I've got some artwork coming for, or prints coming from him that he signed. So I'll show those to you when I get them. But I really enjoyed his comic, and there is another 3-part miniseries coming out, so that'll be good. That's March 27th. Looking forward to that one. From Image Comics, Assassination #1. That comes out March 13th. This looks pretty good. It's written by Kyle Starks, who's behind Rick and Morty. So it's kind of an action comedy assassin kind of storyline. It looks pretty interesting, so I'm definitely going to grab that one. Little Bird comes out March 13th as well from Image, and that is a 5-part miniseries. So the first issue drops on March 13th. It looks kind of interesting. I'll have to see. I've read, there are a few pages of the preview. I'm not 100% sure if I'll stick with it, but I'll definitely grab the first one, see where it goes. That is it from Image, just those 2 titles. From Lion Forge, one that comes out on March 27th is Stiletto #1. It's a crime story, and it looks really good. It's a 3-part miniseries. The artwork looks really good, and I like those realistic kind of stories, so we'll see. That one's March 27th. Really looking forward to that one. From Mad Cave Studios, they're the ones behind Knights of the Golden Sun. They got a new series coming out called Honor and Curse. #1 of a 6-part miniseries. That comes out in March. I forgot to write down the date it comes out, actually. Sorry about that. The last couple here, I forgot to write it down, but it'll be sometime in March. It's sorry, #1 is out this month in February. Correction, or next month in February. It's February 20th, I think, and then #2 is out in March. So that's one I got to talk to my shop and get ordered up, because that'll probably do really well. Kind of about a samurai and dealing with a demon and stuff. It looks pretty good. So 6-part miniseries. Looking forward to that one. Scout Comics. This one looks really good. It's called Rise. Rise #1. It's adventure in a post-apocalyptic world, and the writer-artist on this is Dan Aguilo. And I went to, I would highly suggest you go check out, type in his name and go to his webpage. Man, has he got some nice art. Like, the art for the cover looks really nice, but I've checked out a lot of his artwork on there, and he's got some gorgeous art. Like, the art in this is going to be amazing. So that is definitely one I want to get, is Rise #1. And that comes out in March, but again, sorry, I didn't write down the date for these last couple here. But that is one I'd highly suggest you get. That looks really good. And last one from Warrant Publishing. If you're into the horror stuff, especially like the 70s magazines and horror stories, The Creeps #18 comes out again, and that's in March, and I forgot to write the date down, but it's got a really nice Frank Frazetta cover on there. I love Frazetta's artwork, but it revives the 1970s horror magazine with some new classic styled work and stuff in there. So if you're into the older horror stuff, I highly suggest you look into this Creeps magazine. It's not too bad. I think it's only a $5.99 cover price, so it's a little more than a comic, but not a whole lot more. And it's a magazine size, so that'll be really good. That's what I'm looking at. So that is it for my down the road stuff. Like I say, I will still be putting out my top picks videos every week, which will have more stuff on variants and everything else. And as I hear about any key stuff coming that I don't have on this list, I will let you know in future videos. So anyways, take care everyone. Happy hunting out there. Talk to you later. Bye for now.